So in this lecture, we'll discuss what is Google Form. So Google Form, it is a free online software provided by Google. So we can use this form to conduct surveys, collect feedback, conduct examinations, and so many in online mode just by staying at your home. So it has lots of inbuilt features that will help you to organize the data that you have collected using this form and also help you analyze the data automatically. So you can create this form or you can build this form along with your friends, your co-workers. So how to start? You just need a Google account to start working on Google Form. So let's get started. So for this you have to open any of your browser and just type Google Form. So after that you have to click this first option. Now you have to click this under this personal, you have to go to this Google Forms. So in this way I can go to this form section where I can create a blank Google form. So I have to click this blank and it will create a blank Google form for me. So alternatively we can also directly type forms.google.com and press enter, and we can directly go to that form section and where we can press this blank. So this is a Google form. So when you create a blank Google form, so it will look like this. So let us first give a name to this form. So let us say a car company wants to collect feedback. So earlier to this Google form, what that company was doing, the company was giving a pen and paper to its customer, and the customer has to write everything on the pen and paper and submit to the company at the end. So now the company wants to do the same thing using this Google form in an online mode. So let's design this Google form for a car company where it wants to collect the customer feedback. So here I will type the title, let's say customer feedback form. Just click this one. So this will give a name to this form. So this is the first question. So when I say question, so Google Form by default considers everything as a question. So we will change it based upon our requirement. So the company wants to collect the name of the customer. So I have to type name. So when I say name, then it should provide a text field where the customer has to type his name, right? Now we'll see. So what are the available options provided by Google? So you can see in the right side. So by default it is multiple choice. So I have to change it. So you can see there are various options available. So one is called short answer. So when I say short answer, this will create a small text field. So where the customer has to give something. Paragraph, so this will create a big text field where if you want to collect a very big message, then you can go for this paragraph. Multiple choice, so let's say if you're giving multiple options and you're selecting only one option, then in that case you have to go with the multiple choice. You will see and use each feature one by one. So for this name section, so I will use short answer as its type, right? And I will make this as a required. You can see it. So this required means I want the customer to type this. So this is a compulsory field or it's a mandatory field. So I have to select this, switch on. So if you click it, it will delete. If you press it, it will duplicate. So it will create another text field with the same name, and later on we can modify. So let's say, so this name text field is done. Now I want to collect the contact number or the mobile number of the customer also. So for this I want to create a new text field. So again I have to create add questions. So either I can create this add question, or I can go and click this duplicate. Anything is fine, right? So in this question again I will type the contact number. So when I say contact number, so by default it is short answer. So Google is by default selecting short answer for you, or else you have to go and select it manually. That's fine. So again I have to make this as a required. Okay, so let's add another field. Let's say feedback. So you can give your feedback like this. So or you can say feedback message. right? So feedback message is paragraph. So you're allowing the customer to type a long text message. You can make it as compulsory or you can leave it as optional. So I will add another field. So the customer has to give me feedback in a 1 to 5 rating scale. So I have to choose this linear scale, right? So the same question can be changed to different types based upon these options, right? Okay, so for 1 I mean it is poor feedback, 5 means I say it is excellent. Okay, I will make this compulsory. So let's add another field. So we'll go with multiple choice. Okay, let's see how the multiple choice will work. So multiple choice means the the company is providing you multiple options, and from those options you have to choose only one option. Let's say I will say choose type of service. Let's say you can type option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. So you can fill up the data as per your business needs, right? Next I will see, let's say I will add another for check boxes. So I will say check, you can give any name, right? So based upon your business requirements you can give this name of this check, name of this field, and the possible options. So what are the difference between this multiple choice and checkbox is that, so in the multiple choice the customer has to choose one among these multiple options, whereas in checkbox field the customer can choose more than one option. So by ticking this one, so we'll see while giving a demo or while filling out this form we'll see. So let's add another field. So here let's say I want to say date of service. So when I say date of service, yeah, Google has changed it by default. So here you have to choose the date, month, and a year. Similarly, I will say month of the service, sorry, time, anything. It is not required. It is not mandatory that you have to type. You have to uh, give every options. No, based upon your requirement, you can give as many fields as you need. So time. Similarly, let's say so you want the customer to give the receipt or whatever. So if you want to collect the receipt from the customer or the money receipt or whatever thing, then you can ask go with this file upload. So let's not include this one. So let's stick with these options. Okay, so I will delete this question. So these are the basic data items that I need from a customer, right? Okay, now after that we'll see how to do or what to do. So let's say so this customer feedback form is created. So when it is created, now you will ask so where it is located. So by default it is stored in your Google Drive. So we'll see that one. Okay, now next is you have to go to the responses section. So in the responses section, so what is that? So by default you have to enable this switch. So when I disable, that means that your form is closed and nobody can fill out this form. So by default you have to make it open, so that if you give the link of this form, so that anybody can fill it out. So this is plus button. So this will allow a spreadsheet to be created, and that is associated with this Google form. So Google form is one app and spreadsheet is another app. The spreadsheet is by default collect all the data corresponding to the each field provided by the customer. So that's it. So when I press plus, it is asking me to create a new spreadsheet. So the name you can give any name. So I will keep the same name. Great. So again it will go and get stored in the Google Drive. Okay. So this is the customer feedback form. The customer feedback form, or this is the sheet that is associated with this Google form. So what I have done is, so I have created one Google form and I have associated a Google sheet with this Google form, so that all the data will be stored in this Google sheet. That's fine. Now we'll give a demo. Now after that, so let's see how my form is looking like. So for this you can give a preview, right? Yeah, Just click this. So this preview will help you how this form is looking like. Yeah, so name, contact number, everything. So that means, so when you give this link to the customer, the customer will be seeing your form like this, right? Okay, that's fine. Now we'll do some formatting to this Google form. So you can see this is called customize the theme. So let's say I want to add some image. Let's say I want to add the company photo at the top. Yes, for this I want to choose an image. So press this choose. Let's say I will choose any of the image given to me. So you can choose your image that you want. That's fine. So theme color, you can change the color of your theme. So I will choose this one or this one, that is fine. Background color, yeah, background color can be anything. So let's say I will choose this one. Font style, so font style means, yeah, so what are these fonts? If you want to change the style of these fonts, you can choose. So let's say if I choose this one, so it will look like this. So I will use the basic format only, basic font. So that's it. So this looks like a good form. Now let's fill out this form. So what the company has to do is, so it has to create a link for this Google form. So how to create a link? So you can see it, there is a button called send. So if I click this send, now it will open up something. Now I want to create a link, so there are multiple options. You can send this link via email address, you can type the email address, or you can create a link for this. Now there is a big link, I can shorten this by clicking this shorten URL, so the link will be reduced. Okay, I will just copy it and come out. So let's fill it out. So I will open in a new incognito window and I will fill it out. So if I open this, now you can see this form will look like this, right? Okay, so that means you have given this link to your customer and the customer is filling it out. Now let's say the customer is typing his name, contact number, let's say anything, right? Feedback message, good, and feedback you can say, yeah, excellent. Choose type of service, you can choose what of type of service. So that means now you can see if I press this one, that means by default it is getting deselected. It is selected now. That means out of these four options the customer can give only one option. So if I click this one, that means this is selected and other two are unselected. Now you can see the select checkbox select options. Now the customer can select this one also, and if he wants this, he also can select this. So let's say he wants to select first and third, so I will unselect this one, right? The date of service, you can give the date of service by clicking this one, right? So you can give any date. So time you can give, so you can see another thing. So the star fields are required fields. That means in this case I cannot leave this field blank because it is mandatory, it is required. So if you see those fields which are not marked as star, I can leave those fields blank. So now let's submit. So when I submit, when the customer submits, now your response has been recorded, message will be seen by the customer. Now the company can see the feedback details or the data given by the customer. So how? You can see as soon as the customer has given a feedback, so there is a response coming in. So I can see this response. So this is the summary of the response. Since we have only one customer, so this summary is not containing much of the information. So you can see the statistical data. So when more customers fill out the data, so Google will give you the data and analyze the data properly by creating the chart, bars. Okay, now let's say I want to see the actual data in this Google Sheet. So how do I go? So either I can click this one or I will click this form, so which is already opened. So right, so you can see it, right? So this Google Sheet contains the data. So this is the timestamp in which the person, the customer has given the data, and this is the message, everything. So whatever the data the customer has given, so they are getting recorded here. So this is a small introduction of the Google Sheet or Google Form. Later on we'll see so what are the other settings or the other options available.